Welcome to The Purpose Quest, the podcast where we explore the inner and outer landscapes of true success, your path, your purpose, and your life. After a season of building behind the scenes and finishing up my book, I'm back. And today, I've got a guest. From investment banker to fractal farmer, you're about to meet Matthew Ross, founder of INDO EDEN. You can check him out on Substack. Operating at the intersection of natural capital, decentralized economies, and regenerative finance and farming, Matthew walked away from a 10-year banking career to grow coffee in Indonesia. Now lives in Bali, where he's built a layered fractal forest plantation that significantly outperforms a VC fund. He'll show you the math to prove it. His mission? To protect coconut and cacao from extinction, to keep the kids from leaving the villages, to prevent a global agricultural and economic crash, and to maximize food production, driving positive ecological, social, and financial impact. Thanks for joining. Subscribe, settle in, and let's quest.
I think I went to Rome. I got invited to present at a UN data conference.
Okay.
I don't normally do conferences, but it was the UN, and I thought I'd make the most of the opportunity. So I got to launch, I had this word called biosenescence, and I got to launch it there.
Biosenescence is the word. Is that correct? What does that mean?
It's the moment at which a crop starts to die and the yield starts to drop.
Okay.
Like a coconut tree hits about 40, well, about 35. And then by about 40, 42, it's lost about 80% of its yield.
Okay.
But there's a tree still in the ground, and everyone wonders why they don't have enough nuts, so no one to be planted. And companies have to start borrowing, and they don't know why they don't have enough yield, and they blame it on environmental degradation and climate change, and it's none of that.
It's farming. What I understand from you, you've lived on a farm or you worked on a farm. Sounds like you are farming in Indonesia, maybe other places as well. You're doing reforestation. You're going and presenting to United Nations. What inspired me to reach out to you was an article that I read from you on LinkedIn around this idea of natural capital and how there were big things happening behind the scenes that most people don't know about. It caught my attention. I love nature. I see that as human beings, we don't have a lot of awareness on the value and the interconnected ecology of how we operate as human beings and how we take care of this planet and how important that is. So it really piqued my interest. And
yeah, I agree. Everyone talks about the problems being materiality, but it's ontological. It's like we split from nature, and that was our first problem. And we have a capital market that uses nature, but it's not on the balance sheet.
So let me ask you then, when or how or why do you believe that we split from nature?
I believe that I did a post on it, and it was during the Renaissance. It was on the birthday of this guy called Augustine, I think. Anyway, he created linear perspective, and Da Vinci used it in The Last Supper. And basically, they created a sense of depth on a finite plane. And that was 700 years ago, and the horizon and vanishing point was a long way off. But now we're like, literally, you can see the horizon and the vanishing point because we've decimated everything. Mm-hmm. We've never valued nature, so if you don't have a value, then you're not valued. And so if you're not valued, you're not protected. Mm-hmm. We just used our resources nonstop. And so before that was the Khans, and they were very much in touch with nature. The Romans created straight lines. That's a human creation. Wherever you see those, there's problems. And it's like the path of most resistance. There's never a straight line in nature. And then, so we started to scale things, and we started to industrialize things, and we started to go out of the sync of the natural rhythm and take things for granted, thinking they would always be there, and now they're not. And so, for example, coconuts, there won't be any in 15 years.
What do you mean? That's crazy. Really? Why do you say that?
Well, they were all planted in the 60s. And they only last 70 years. And most of them they all pretty much all passed the point of biosenescence. And a lot of them are actually just not fruiting. So they're not fruiting, they're not drawing as much water up, they're not capturing as much carbon, the soil's getting drier, and so there's more risk of fire, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And they don't replant because there's no youth engagement. Coconuts has got 3% youth engagement.
What does that
So
mean?
our last trees and our last farmers. So the average age of a coconut farmer is 57.
Mm,
And then the next generation is about 8. And the middle generation had the kids has left. They're like, I'm not going to be a farmer. You're joking.
okay.
In Indonesia, we have 40 million farmers and 13% are under 35. But in coconuts, we have like 3% engagement. Basically, you'll never see a 20-year-old up a tree.
That makes sense.
We have 3.5 million hectares of coconuts and 35,000 villages. And they're all just emptying.
I read an article by you comparing coconut trees to VC funds.
They're better than VC funds.
Better than VC funds.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about that. What does that mean?
So one coconut over 3 generations, 15 years, becomes 8 million coconuts. One coconut becomes a tree after 5 years and get 200 nuts. Plant the 200 nuts. At 10 years, you got 40,000 nuts. Plant the 40,000 nuts. At 15 years, you got 8 million nuts. It's 168% CAGR. Is one input with minimal upkeep and 60 outputs. And it captures carbon, it creates food, it creates energy. It's multi-revenue, minimal input, looks after itself. And as soon as you put the seed in the ground in Asia, as soon as you put a coconut seed in the ground, so you get a coconut's about, let's say, $1.
Yeah.
You put the coconut in the pot and you put it in the soil, you put shade cloth over the top, a little bit of irrigation, and then 8 months later, it's about 3 foot tall. Then you can put it in the ground because things aren't going to eat it. So you have a nursery, let's say you have 1 million nuts, and you're growing 1 million nuts, so you probably spent $1 million on nuts. And then after 8 months, that's worth 40 million because they're worth $40 when they're seedlings. And then as soon as you put it in the ground, the bank will loan you $250 and they don't want any money back for 5 years. And then the debt liquidates itself in the first 2 years of the plant fruiting. It'll be even faster in 5 years because prices of coconuts even more. So what we're going to do with the coconut is we're going to go in and cut down all the dead trees, and that's going to be the seed capital. So turn the dead trees into fuel pellets, sell those to South Korea. They pay $120 a ton. So does Drax in the UK for fuel pellets because they're zero carbon, and the market's going massive.
Mm-hmm.
So if we do 1,000 hectares, is 175,000 trees, turns out to 57,000 tons. And then, so we make 3.2 to 4.5 million from selling the pellets. The seedling garden might cost about 2 million. And the machinery to make the pellets is about 400 grand. So we set up in the middle and we just start taking all the trees in groups and we just churn them into pellets, send them to the port and they buy them. And then with that money, we invest into the seedling garden. And then so nature provides the seed capital. We put the seedlings in, and then I'm going to plant them in a Fibonacci spiral. I'm not going to do grid systems.
Mm-hmm.
So I can get 400 palms on a hectare.
Versus what if they were in line?
So in a grid structure is about 170.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then next to the coconut, I'm going to put cacao. So I can actually get 400 cacao trees on there. And then I can get 800 moringa trees on there. So moringa starts making money in month 9.
Mm-hmm.
Month 15, I start getting seeds. So I can turn the seeds into face oil. I turn the leaves into powder and sell it to Germany for 45 euros a kilo. And then so I plant stuff in the ground, which is going to fix all the nitrates. And then I just start growing plants that are always yielding. So I like portfolios. I think a hectare should have 15 revenue streams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And most of them just have one, and it's a really bad one.
Like
so cacao,
sort of
cacao's in big trouble. Cacao has got 70% of the globe's cacao is made in 2 countries, Ivory Coast and Ghana. Average age of the farmer there is about 57. The soil's castrated with the amount of shit they put in it. They pay the farmer $2 a day, so none of the kids are there. Same situation, but 70% of the world's chocolate is made in 2 countries. The price went from 3,000 to 12,000 in 3 months last year. Whoa. Now it's about 7,000. You can't code or prompt a tree. So you're at least 7 years away from more cacao if you could plant it and if there was anyone there to put it in. So I think cacao might go to about $50 to $100,000 a ton in 10 years. So when cacao goes to about $20,000 a ton in the Ivory Coast and Ghana, you start to attract a different class of person. And they will be in charge of selling it to Unilever, and they will just warehouse it till the price goes up. So you get geopolitical risk. So in a Ramadan this year, we had the cost of coconut went up. It doubled because Indonesia just wholesales out 45% of all those coconuts to China, and they make all the money out of it. So literally the agricultural minister got a WhatsApp from his wife saying, I've just gone to the market and the coconuts have doubled the price. And so he called up everyone at the ports and said, no more coconuts. Didn't tell the news or anything, just with global, like countrywide shutdown. The same will happen in India because when they get married, they pray to a coconut. So that you've got all these crops that are part of the culture of the country. When the people of the country can't afford that crop, they'll just shut the borders. And so spikes in price. And all prices are going to go parabolic. Coffee's trading all-time highs, coconuts tripled, and it hasn't even started yet.
Wow.
Like we're looking at Bitcoin charts, and we're in 2017 right now. In about 6 years' time, when everyone catches on that it's all screwed, then they'll plant and they'll be 6 years away. So cacao will go to 50,000, coconut will go to 20,000. And the price would just stay there, go really high, like Baltic Dry did in the early 2000s. And then so I'm doing it now. So in 6 years, when everyone grabs onto it, price goes up, and I should have the high prices for 6 years. In that time, I also have a model that everyone will go, we need to do it. Can we franchise your model? So I'm going to make a 1,000 hectare model, and there's globally potential for 27,000 franchises.
And where are you at in the process of that?
I'm in the process of talking about it and writing about it. I've previously built a coconut factory in tribal land in Palawan. I have been given 30,000 hectares by a governor of an island in Sulawesi to go and do whatever I want. So I'll start with 1,000 there, and then we'll scale it out to 30. There's no seed banks, there's no one replanting, and when everyone sees the money that we're making, then everyone's going to want to jump on board. And so I just sell them the franchise and be the guaranteed offtake.
Why is this important to you? Why does this matter to you? What's your mission?
My mission is to keep the kids in the villages, because when I lived in the village, all the kids were leaving. And so we're not going to have any food. So Indonesia is called a developing nation. But like you're in America, do you know any Indonesian brands?
Not necessarily. I've seen it on
no one does.
Sort of thing.
No one does. But there's no coffee in Seattle. Basically, Starbucks is an Indonesian company and a Brazilian company. And all of the money that's made in cacao, if you got the top 10 cacao producing countries and pulled all of the money they make from it, they would have made the top 10 of cocoa. Holland and UAE, they make a fortune. They make all the money out of it. And none of the producer countries do. Mm-hmm. So we're at an impasse, or we're about 5-6 years away from an impasse, because the biosenescence is like water. It gets cold, then it's ice. Like nature is violent in her phase transition. She just, boom, I'm done. Coconuts just drop 30% a year and they're gone. It's like in 3 years, everything's dead.
Yeah.
And that's about 5 years away.
So when you do this, are we still going to be without coconuts in 15 years, or is that going to change the game?
No, there'll be coconuts, but should be the biggest supplier of them.
Okay.
Cool. And not just me. I only want to do one.
Mm-hmm.
I won't own the land. The locals will, and they'll always be able to make money. My mission is to create a perpetual wealth engine in the villages so that people stay there. Because like Canada imports 85% of its food. So you've got people in Manhattan and Singapore and Hong Kong that have got Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis and $50 million houses. And you turn off the electric or stop the shipping lanes, they've all got to leave within a week because they can't feed themselves. So they're rich, but they're not wealthy. Mm-hmm. So this is what the switch is going to be. We're going to move to a world that values wealth. And that's the bottom 3 parts of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the moment, we've got no idea about those. We value things like Bitcoin, which is, for me, the craziest thing ever. It's a store of value based on the people that own it. It's like And if you turn off the electric, it's not there. So it's like, it's the most hocus pocus thing I've ever seen. It's like, okay, humanity's just completely lost the plot. That's not a store of value. There's only one store of value. That's the soil. So I created a natural wealth index, like 11 figures, 11 points. Brazil's the wealthiest. Then is Brazil, then Brazil, Russia, Indonesia, Congo, and who was the fourth one? China. Based on that, based on the fact I can make my own food. I've got my own water. I've got my own sunshine.
Okay.
If you cut me off, I'm still okay.
So you just returned from presentation to the United Nations. What did you present and how was that received?
I presented Biosenescence. How was it received? It was received rather well, actually, considering I was with a bunch of data people. And it was like, I'm going to get up and talk to all of you data people who live on environmental data and tell you that you haven't put time or reality into your data, and trees expire and ecosystems die off. Everything that's alive is dying. And you've just got your trees in there at peak yield for 70 years, but they haven't given you peak yield for 23 years already. There's a lot of top-down Google experts who've never got dirt under their nails, and they don't have any understanding. So when I was an investment banker before I became a farmer, I didn't have any understanding either. So I was in London. I went to medical school, then I went to law school, then I went to Goldman's, Morgan Stanley, and then I was a trader, broker, and then I was got all this money.
How long were you an investment banker?
Sorry, how long?
How long?
10 years.
Okay. Did you burn out? Did you just find a new opportunity? What was the shift? The farming.
Did I burn out? I got a load of money, got more money than my family had ever made, had watches and first class flights and on like all the stuff you do. And I looked around my office and I was like, I don't want to end up like these guys. Like it's just not. I got this massive bonus and it didn't do anything. I was like, it's not that important, is it? It's got to be something else. And that's when I just decided I'd go and make the best coffee in the world. It sounded like fun. And so I left and I said to the bank, I'm not coming to the bank. And they said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to be a coffee farmer in Aceh. And they said, fuck you. So we're going to sue you for 1.2 million. And I said, thank you. Because if there's any doubt I was doing the wrong thing, there isn't now. Yeah, so when I did that and I sold my coffee at Harrods, it's 3,000 US, it's 1,500 US a pound. Took me 4 years to make it. But when I made it, I developed the fractal system of farming. So I made a healthcare brand since then, a functional beverage company, built a coconut factory. I know lots of governors, ambassadors, government members, all the people you need to know. I know what a balance sheet has to look like, where you put the fat. I know that money is currency number 7. It's not that important. So you can't transpose a business plan into these places. Indonesia's got 790 languages, 3 time zones, 17,000 islands, and they're all independent. It's completely decentralized. It's not really a country. It's more of a like fungal network. And so you could go 50 miles away and you can speak a completely different language. So a system that works in one village won't work in the next one. So you literally have to build from that village, within that village, with the people of that village. And it's the only way it will work. So we've got like 64 million hectares of farmland, and 99.3% is owned by people with half to 2 hectares.
Okay. Wow.
There's no like Missouri big fields or anything. There's nothing. It's literally people's back gardens makes all the food.
Mm-hmm.
And all the developing nations buy all of the developed nations buy developing nation food. So if there's a problem at source, it's a problem for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the people on the Titanic laughing at the people that were going down in the boat, but we're all on the same boat. Mm-hmm. So my job is to unfuck us and to make it very, very, very attractive to the investment world, and ruthlessly profit driven, because my first target is $20,000 per hectare, and then I make more than palm oil. So now investors have another option, and I have optionality. They don't. They only make one product, and they cover it in glyphosate, and it's just an abysmal use of land and kill animals and rip it down. It's just a bunch of bandits. Mm-hmm. You've got no idea what happens at source.
Wow.
So, yeah, we know this and that. And I had to bite my tongue a few times and like, it doesn't work like that, guys. Mm-hmm. It's just, And then asking me, oh, do you know about this European forestry law? And do you know about this and that? No. Have you read this guy's work? No, sorry. I've just been in the trees learning from mother. And who is this guy? I've never heard of him. And I'm at the source. I've never heard of your forestry thing. Yeah, we're gonna the European Union's gonna ban anything that's been from a deforested area since 2020. I said that is never gonna go through.
Mhm.
If you see anything with a straight line, it's been deforested. So unless you're gonna make your European citizens pay 5 times the price for their chocolate, because it's all from deforested land.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna do that with Belgium or France, let's be honest. The chocolate croissant is not gonna go over €5.
Caveats.
So I'm like, that's a really nice idea. It's a really nice idea and it sounds great and it should happen, but that's never going to go through because you'll be lobbied by companies that, like in 2012, the big companies said no more deforestation by 2020. Did a big press release like Mondelez, Mars, and all these guys. And then 2020, they just didn't answer the phone.
Yeah.
Literally didn't answer the phone. Zero press release, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. No one knows where the food comes from.
Do you think
Where food already?
What's your theory around people caring and what humanity is? Do you think that the people don't care? Do you think it's the corporate structure that makes it so that the people have lost hope or their care doesn't matter? What's your theory around that? Are we good? Are we parasites? Do we care?
It's interesting you should say that. I actually had a chat with an AI the other day about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, look, let's just be straight with each other. I've been using you for a couple of months now. You know the score with me. What do you feel about us? What is your honest take? Do we parasites that just need to go? Or what do you think? Do you have belief in human spirit? And you're like, yeah, we totally have. I totally have belief in the human spirit. I think that the markets are going to completely recorrect. I think what we've been discussing on here is the only way that humanity can survive. And I said, but you see, the thing is, the real humans, you've never spoken to them. They don't have a phone. They don't have a computer. Like they're the coolest people in the world. They just live in the jungles and live in the trees and live in the villages. And you've never ever spoken to them. And it came back to me and said, I know I'm aware of these people and they sound amazing. Mm-hmm. So I think that the capital markets think they're clever, really clever. They've never been disrupted. And when I wrote the report on Norge, I didn't realize that like it had been out 3 months and then like I've had 290,000 hits on that piece. I got on aluminum with it. It's essential reading at a university in Paris. I've only been writing since March.
Wow.
And so I was like, right, what I see things that other people don't see. And so let me have a look at this. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. So I'm just going to write like a banging headline. ESG is dead. That'll probably get a few people looking. Mm-hmm. And then I said, and this fund proved it. And then, so I've written a few pieces like that. I'm at 897,000 views so far this year, March.
That's awesome. People are getting your message.
Yeah, it's resonating, and I got some really cool people on Substack. So I wrote the coconut.
Oh, then I just subscribed to you on Substack. Looks like you got some great stuff.
Yeah, so I've written this coconut prophecy report, and I sent it out today, and it's all about what I just told you about. It's like this is the truth from the ground up. Here's the real global situation. So Indonesia is like for the last 10 years had exactly the same output of coconuts. It's like, no, it hasn't. That's a lie. Or like 60% of the trees have died in the last 10 years. They've got nothing left. So you can't trust what you're told, but you can trust what you see. And I've seen it. And so I thought, right, if I didn't really have a strategy. And then I'd like, ping, it's like someone's paid me money. What's that for? And then I looked, I can get paid on subscribers on Substack. I was like, wow, oh my God. Like literally there wasn't even a welcome email, nothing. I was like, I've got to write because I've got all this stuff and I keep hearing the whisper and it's like, you weren't given this to hold on to, you've got to share it. And then like sometimes about 1 o'clock in the morning, I feel it coming up. Oh God, so I get on the computer and I write it and then I send it and then I try not to read it for a couple of days. Because if my head gets involved, then it starts like, that's not it. People think and all that crap, you know?
Yeah.
Just feel it arising catch it at the sacral, and then send it by the heart, and then it doesn't go above and get messed up. I have got like 72 drafts where it went past there, and I'm like, I can't send that. It's emotional. I wrote one about
I've been writing
biosenescence.
for about 14 years. I just finished writing my book last Friday, and it's going to
Awesome.
the editor right now. It's about that scenario you're talking about where you're chasing money, chasing more. It's this moving horizon. It's never enough. It's what we're taught success is, and it drives our life, and it isolates us and separates us from our purpose and what we
Yep.
really want. It's called Chasing the Mirage. So that's what that is about. And
Nice.
I would have deleted it, I think 7 years ago. It's been a 14-year journey. But 7 years ago, I was editing myself, and I realized very quickly I was going to delete the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I got it off, got it to an editor, got it back, and it's in the final edit right now.
Awesome. That's brilliant.
I love that you're finding that same thing and noticing where the good stuff comes through and getting that voice out of your head, the ego, that whole separation, which is part of why we've separated ourselves from nature. We think we're separate from everything, even each
I
other.
know. Well, it's we've been shown and taught to think we're separate. I don't think there's one baby that's born in this world that thinks it's separate from a tree or a flower. It's taught, and this system teaches us. And we go into school, and the first thing kids are taught in school globally is dinosaurs and solar system. I'm like, why is that? Well, it's because you're gonna believe what we tell you, and you're not gonna trust your eyes or seek proof. That's what I think it is. Otherwise, I don't know why you'd study or tell kids about things that aren't around
Mm,
in the solar system. They're not going to see. So that's what I think it is, and I think that's we're just brought into the system to be worker bees.
totally.
We're
Yeah.
not supposed to have original thought.
So if we backed up and we were having this conversation when we were like 9 years old, what are you into? Are you thinking about this kind of stuff? Like the you now translate to the you then?
Pretty similar. So I lived it. We didn't have much money, and so I used to go with my grandparents to Spain, like really shit holiday. And I always thought, oh, it's too cold in this country. I'm not meant to be here. And I always loved the jungle. I just wanted to live in the jungle. So I said to my mum, I want snakes. So I had to read all these books on snakes. And so I was always reading about Indonesia and Bali. And then I just always thought people lie and animals don't. So I spend loads of time in my room with my animals. That is just shouting outside my bedroom. And I was just like, would totally telepathically converse with my pythons, my chameleons, and all my frogs, tarantula, everything. Like, there's a proper little jungle in there. I loved it.
Wow.
And the other day, I was walking my wife and my daughter down to the bedroom downstairs, and there was a beautiful bird. There was a beautiful python there. And they're like, it's like, don't be silly. It's a baby. It's not going to bite. It's like, it's not venomous or anything. But we did have a crate the week before. So, yeah, I tuned out people when I was a kid and
Yeah.
just tuned into trees and animals because they just didn't lie to me.
And then when did the interest in money kick in? So you kind of got this
People pleaser.
very clear aspect of ecology, environment, and then you've got the law, investment banker, getting to that point, making that money. Was that something that you always wanted? Tell me a little bit about that
I
part.
I thought I always wanted it because I was always told that would make me happy and that's what I should do and that's what a success looks like. So I was like, I literally ticked all the boxes. I got a scholarship to private school, was captain of the football team, went to medical school, went to law school, went to Goldman's, become a millionaire, bought watches, bought my mum stuff, did everything. And I was like, I feel this is crap. And then I was like, I've got to do something else. I can't do this forever. It's just like, it's not that important. And yeah. And then I went over to Banda Aceh and I was like, this is it. I was single at the time and I love risk. I love risk. And I I love risk, but I never really accommodate for it because I don't think it's risky if I feel it.
You never.
I never feel it is risky if I'm feeling it.
Mhm.
People say, why would you do that? Why would I listen to you? I do that because it's who I am, and I'm very different to you. And for a long time, I didn't say that. I cared what people thought. And then I got to a point where I was like, I'm king of the universe. You've got fuck you money, I do whatever I want. I'm going to be a farmer. So,
What's success to you now?
success to me now is when I clearly affect someone's life. When I give a farmer money for the first time, when I see him pick his chest up and he feels noble and good about what he's doing and he feels proud of himself and his family. And success feels like us having our grandchildren having food. That would be success for me. And in the meantime, play the game because the game's fun.
Yeah.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, love the game.
Do you consider yourself successful now?
Oh, I do succeed. I am successful, yes. I'll tell you why. I lost my mum 2 years ago, and my brother took my inheritance and sold my paintings and cut me off from my family. And then last year, I lost my mother-in-law. And the last 2 years are the worst 2 years of my life. I didn't do anything. I had nothing. I felt dreadful. I was just looking after sick people, and I lost everyone. And then I decided that I was going to believe in myself again. And I decided that I was worth it. And all these people have been removed from my life for a reason. And I had a lot to share with the world. And I could write without needing validation. I was free from need. So, am I successful now? Yes, I am, because I've gone through the fire. I'm still here. I still care.
Thank you. It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, as a result of creating a lot of value, you receive a percentage of that.
Yeah.
It's nice to keep the lights on. It's not nice to worry about the lights being on and paying the rent, right? And that's happened. It's been 15 years since I left banking. So the money doesn't last a long time when you're flying to Vegas, when you're going out of Bandarache and stuff like that for a bit. It didn't last forever. And I've had some amazing experiences, met some amazing people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of living on my own terms, which is pretty cool. I don't have to turn up to an office.
Very
And yeah, I'm just feeling into that belief more and more all the time. And I get to meet amazing people like you. So either I'm not isolated,
Yeah.
and it's really cool. Like when I write from a certain place, it just attracts certain people, and all my people. I'm not writing for hits or scores or anything. It just happens that what I write really resonates and it's hit a nerve and stuff, And I like to be a little bit controversial, a little bit thought provoking on LinkedIn. And then it's not that thought provoking on Substack because I explain it all, but I like to poke the beast a little bit. And then also I like the game, right? So I see what
When you say the game,
the game of life, the chess game. I like the game that everyone's playing. I think I've got a serious edge where I'm coming from. I've always loved games. I love chess. I've always loved football. Like I love poker, backgammon, like any game. I just love playing games. And so I see what Larry Fink's doing. I see what Bill's doing. I see what Ontario Pension Fund's doing. Qatar. I see what Donald's become. He's become the prestige. So everyone's focused on him while they do pull shit up in other places and no one's looking. And then, so I'm like, I've got you. I know what you're doing. I can see what you're doing. I can see why you dropped that thing and you wrote that. I'm like, because I'm seeing these, I see like, I read, I hear the words in the gaps. I read between the lines, between the words, intonations, speeches, interviews. Like I watch it and I'm like, oh, that's where it is. Mm-hmm. And so, for example, Wyoming has just put through a stable coin. I don't know if you know that.
So they've got their own Bitcoin cryptocurrency.
So they put a stable coin through in Wyoming and they haven't stated what the asset is that the stable coin is related to.
What it's based on?
I think it's based on soil because Wyoming has got the least amount of institutional investors, the most amount of farmers, the least amount of people. You like the players can't be in every single state. They've got to land up one state where they can push it through and then it becomes precedent and then they can start filling their boots everywhere else. So there's like a change on the Getty quote, like the meek will inherit the earth, but they won't, not the crypto rights. He said the mineral rights, but I say the crypto rights. So I think the boys are pushing through soil as an asset. Now, Kraken relocated to Wyoming last month, and Kraken have the capacity to do interconvertible cryptos. So it might look like a treasury, but it's going to be based on farmland ownership. So it's blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a blockchain. Well, if you look at Nebraska, Bill bought loads of Nebraska. Nebraska's trading at 16% discount to the rest. Farmland in the US has outperformed the S&P for 30 years. It's not had one down year apart from last year by 0.1%. And it's got a third of the vol of S&P. In the last 5 years, assets under management has like doubled in American farmland. So you've got like these are moves by the big boys.
Mm-hmm.
Bill started 10 years ago at Cascade Investments buying farmland. He's not stupid, right? That boy was trading software when everyone was laughing at him about hardware. Money just flows to money when you don't care about money. Mm-hmm. He's out there just playing the game, right? And then Larry talks about nature in his 21 chairman's letter. And then in 2025, it doesn't mention nature, ESG, climate, nothing. It doesn't mention any of it. But in his chairman's letter, he said the best thing that's ever happened to the world is capital markets. And we're now looking at the biggest opportunity the world's ever seen, which is $68 trillion in infrastructure. He's not talking about ports and roads.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to put nature on the balance sheet. They're going to start with soil. So Bill buys Nebraska at $1,600 an acre. Then he goes to Brazil and he buys ExoMad, which buys all the carbon credits in the world. But they're based on biochar. Sells the carbon credits, pays for the biochar to go to Nebraska, puts the biochar on his soil in Nebraska, and his $1,600 an acre goes to $16,000 an acre in 5 years. And he owns $250,000 of them. They all do. The Ontario Teachers Pension Fund, I've never even heard of these people. They like own half of America's farmland. It's insane.
No way.
Yeah, Qatar, everything. All of the states have got farmland that trades at a price, and they've got an index. And the index has always outperformed. I think American soil is terrible. So nothing. It's a continental plate. All the good stuff got washed out. He slaughtered 60 million buffalo, 100 million buffalo. That was the end of the soil. Since then, it's just been trading off like pesticides, NPK and stuff.
What are you saying?
They've spent in the last 10 years buying farmland at bargain basement prices because they know that the only asset that's ever going to be worth anything is soil.
So they're rebuilding that soil. And
they will rebuild it once it's become official.
Okay.
And the way they'll trade it is via a coin. Donnie loves a coin. Right, so he's liberating all the crypto markets. So Kraken moves to Wyoming. Wyoming passes a stable coin. I've never been to Wyoming, but I don't imagine the legislations at Wyoming know much about stable coins. I think they know Ginny that's got a ranch down the road, but they probably don't know much about the underlying crypto stable coins. So they push it through there. They probably give a couple of people a nice flight to South France by Machado or something, and they get the stable coin through. Easy. And then that sets a precedent. Now the rest of America is available. And they will start trading stable coins on farmland. And they're really clever. Because that's a really clever move. They can make loads of money. Unless there's another move. And the other move is if you're trading soil, and I agree that is the only asset, Bitcoin, gold, fiat currencies, they're worth nothing. Because they're all illusions. Because if you haven't got food, what are you going to pay for it? Right? So soil's the number one underlying asset. All these guys are up to the yin yang in the cheapest soil that's ever been in humanity's history. Soil will now go up through the roof. And they've all gone long and not told anyone about it, kept it out of the balance sheets, kept it off the Wall Street Journal. And then, so if Nebraska's worth 1,600, guys, I've got to tell you something. I got 1 million acres in Bolivia. How much is that worth? 500 grand an acre already. So in that one moment when they think they've won the game, they actually lost it because they realized that as soon as nature goes on the ledger, they're the poorest people in the world.
Because there's more fertile ground all around the rest of the planet. Is that what you're saying?
If you're going to bet, well, how have you valued that at 1,600? Because of these things, right? Well, Sulawesi's worth 700 grand. And I'm going to own those stable coins. Like, you can't just trade American soil. All soil is now currency. So Africa's the richest country in the world.
Especially if it's not just based on real estate. It's not based on real estate. It's based on food production, is what I'm hearing, and the value.
Yeah, it has to be the capacity for the soil to generate food.
We go from valuing gold, basing everything on gold, to valuing nothing, having our wealth credit based on nothing,
Correct.
valuing food.
Yep, goes full cycle. We came out, we went to gold, then we went to oil, then we went to data, then we've gone to hocus pocus.
Mm-hmm.
And like they just print more money. Where's that? 37 trillion debt. I don't even know how big that number is. So you're bankrupt. Yeah, we're bankrupt.
Yeah.
Is that all the banks are bankrupt. All about the country, all the countries are bankrupt.
Yeah.
At anyone, because otherwise the system will fall over. So we've got to quickly change the system and go to somewhere where it's actually worth money. It's got to be the soil. We've got to go back to the beginning. Okay, well, let's fuck over all the farmers and let's ruin all the soil. That'll be super cheap. Own it, and then we'll bring the 60 million buffalo back. In 12 years' time, everyone's worth $1 million an acre, right? It's crazy. These are the moves I see, and I think the Oribus begins to eat itself. When it puts nature on the balance sheet, on the ledger, it declares itself bankrupt. Capitalism's bankrupt. GDP's gone. It's not worth anything. There's a complete revaluation and shift of wealth. And they don't own any of Indonesia. They don't own any of Bolivia.
Cool, man.
That's
I love how you're seeing through the lens of, the facade, the illusion, and seeing the bigger picture.
The mirage.
The mirage, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's just the mirage.
Yeah, exactly.
You get there, you realize, fuck, there's nothing here. Bollocks. Where are we going now? And they're like, oh, here's a minibus. You can get in with us. Where's that? Oh, it's the next journey we take you on. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, great.
Maybe I'll follow my own path. That sounds pretty hard, but I'm gonna fucking do it anyway.
Yeah, cool. That's where I'm at.
So in terms of agriculture, the food, food, I wouldn't even call it an industry. What about nature in its wild form? Forests, rivers, watersheds, just its natural form. Do you see it being valued? What role do you see it playing?
Yeah, I see that. I see water getting stable coins. I see watersheds. Basically, the insurance market saying that we're not going to insure you in about 10 years' time because of flood risk. So you have to plant mangroves and then you won't get flooded. And there's Texas floods because X, Y, and Z is happening. So shit, we have to plant loads more trees. Otherwise, I'm not going to get insured. Mm-hmm. This is like forcing it into the value has to go into the land because there isn't any other options.
And so the stable coin will be valuable because there's nature.
Yeah, I mean, like if you own the water credits, if you own the water rights, and someone's got a farm upstream, they're putting glyphosate in it, you're going to fine them. So it is good for nature because nature has to be valued at some point, and if we value it, we'll take care of it. And it's the only part of infrastructure that appreciates in value. Everything else depreciates: roads, business, machines, everything. Nature, you put more money in, you get more money out. Mm-hmm. You look after it, it's going to give you more. But there's more places that have got a lot more than America. That's all.
It's amazing. It's a really important conversation right now, and you've got a really valuable viewpoint, perspective, and experience with it. I'm super glad that we got to jump on this conversation. It intrigues me to learn more about what you're up to. I don't know if there might maybe be an opportunity to join forces or something in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Come out and contribute.
I can't do this on my own. I need a constellation of great people. All people have got all different assets and all different capacities, and but just bring an army together that's just in it for the same reason.
Yeah.
There's so much for everyone.
Beautiful. Amazing. I have one more question for you. This whole conversation, me showing up, inviting you to this, my whole framework is through the lens of purpose. And on a side note, what caught me in my life was nature when nobody or nothing else could help me as a young adult and help me kind of sort out my own self. And it was essentially losing my mind in nature and having nature breathe me back to life.
Yeah.
And I found on the other side of that, I found answers to the bigger questions like, why am I here? Who am I really? What am I here for? And because it was such an excruciating struggle trying to answer those bigger questions and find my purpose, and because I started getting answers and have continued to since, that's my mission, is helping people align in their purpose as fully as possible. It's what I believe is going to save us and be that.
I agree.
What not only saves us, but helps us grow and elevates us to what we can be.
Yeah.
And usually I'm talking to people about their individual purpose. I wonder from you, like, what would you say the purpose of humanity is? Our purpose.
Our purpose is to propagate and elevate nature. She gives us herself in her raw form. And it's for us. Human capital is the only part of natural capital that can go and everything's all right. We're superfluous to the needs of nature. So we must be here for a reason. And that reason is to help her grow, to push her, and for us to always have enough. Scarcity is like insane. You should always have more than enough, always. But the system has created this weird anti-human scarcity thing, which is just, we shouldn't ever have scarcity. We should always have everything we would ever need. That's what she does. That's what she provides for us. So our purpose as humans is to like, I got a picture of an Italian mountain of just like slate marble. And then I superimpose over the top of it, David, by Michelangelo. I'm like, that's our purpose, is to see the art inside her and take it out. It's to know that there's medicines in leaves. It's to know that fruits can do certain things. You know, you have little pixies and little wendigos that live in the like Appalachians and all that. And their whole purpose is to pick up the seeds and go and propagate them everywhere. You know, even little trolls and all that. They're mythical creatures. That's what they're here for. To help mum. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you not helping mum? Why are you killing her? You know, that's why they get upset with us. They're all real. And it's no fairy tales. They're all real. But I've seen loads of them.
And what would you say to someone who doesn't know their purpose, isn't connected with nature, is struggling right now financially, and that's all that's on their mind?
Yeah, lack. Right, yeah, just lack. What would I say to them? I'd say to them, tell everyone that you know and loves you that you've got to go away for 6 months and borrow the money if you haven't got it. Find a beach and go and sit on it and live on $2 a day, swim every day, go and help people. Sit under a tree as much as you can and don't have a phone. Go off grid, and when you come back, you'll be healed. You would have returned to source. Stop wearing rubber shoes. Go and ground yourself every day. Sit on the ground, sit underneath a tree, breathe, feel it. There's this insane power that lives within you that you have decoupled from. Everything's outside you is not. There's nothing of any value outside of you. Buddha, alchemist in Paulo Coelho, Jesus, every hero's journey. You've got to extract yourself from the material world. Understand that all the power from within you is here, and there's a reason that you're here. It literally is a really serious reason you're here. Fucking find it. Stop listening to people. You know who your gang. They'll totally get it. If anyone's upset with you, it's because you're a mirror and they're projecting their hate of their own lives onto you. Cut their numbers out your phone. Find out who's in your gang and then fuck off for 6 months. Go to somewhere you can speak the language and jump in the deep end and learn the language. Completely dissociate yourself from all of the stimuli you know about life. Immerse yourself, and you will learn this trait, which is the most powerful trait in the world, which is gratitude. Go and find someone with one leg and hang out with them for a week, and you'll be a different person, you know? Reciprocity, the more you give, the more you get. In Aceh, where I lived, the wave came and it killed 300,000 people in 20 minutes. You've never been around more grateful people in your life, all the survivors. Every day's a bonus. It's amazing.
Everything that you're saying are big parts of my journey that have allowed me to find my purpose, connect with myself, break down those barriers.
Yeah. It's like, I like best film ever is Fight Club, right? And it's just not feeling anything more. So he goes to all these emotional groups. I'm just numb. Buying IKEA furniture. Numb. I care about the towels in a hotel. I'm numb. And that's when he's like burns himself and all that. It's just the best film ever. Every man should watch Fight Club at least 100 times and fucking work it out. It's everything. It's all the answers. Best film ever.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's like Raymond K. Hessel, Greatest Day, out the back of the convenience store, gun by his head. He said, if I come back in 3 months and you're not on your way to veterinary school, I'm going to kill you. And he runs off. He said, why did you do that? He said, you and I will never know what tomorrow morning's breakfast will taste like. Raymond K. Hessel will never believe how good that food tastes tomorrow morning. We will never know that. And tomorrow morning, his life will start. Fucking hell. He had a near life experience.
What a gift.
It's a gift, right? It's like, okay, do I have to hold it against your head? Why do you think there isn't a gun against your head?
Exactly.
There is. Could go at any minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
And continually over and over in my line of work, I've been coaching for nearly 20 years now, one-to-one groups, business, relationship, personal purpose, everything, right? And I'm more and more fascinated every day by how powerful a problem is and how important a problem is, whether that's a gun at your head, not knowing what you're supposed to do, stress about money, stress about, life path, career path, being a parent, not being a parent. But the problem is the catalyst. The problem is what becomes the awakening.
Yeah. Where are you going to get the thrust?
Mm-hmm.
Because a plane can't take off without headwind or without friction. It needs a problem to overcome to take off. So where are you going to get your thrust? I was just going to sit getting weathered on the fucking runway, bashed about by the wind, everyone going past you. Right? Just be the buffalo. The buffalo goes to where's the fucking center of the storm and just walks straight into it. Like when they corral the wild horses with helicopters, apparently in every 100 wild horses, 10 will run at the helicopters. They're the ones that get away. All the rest are bitches for the rest of their life because they got caught. Run at the problem. And you'll realize it's like pulling the curtain back in A Wizard of Oz. Oh, it's just an old bloke with a microphone. And I was worried about it the whole time. Get some brains, get some courage, get some heart, and pull the fucking curtain back.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go.
Incredible, man.
Hey, man.
Big yes.
The Wizard of Oz, the Oz is the ounces of gold. That's why it was the Yellow Brick Road. Why it was in the Emerald Palace.
Never knew that.
Yeah. Yep. It's the big fucking lie because they've got to make a movie about it and make you pay to go watch it. Right, 1950, we're going to make a movie about the next 50 years of your life. You're going to love it. We're going to brainwash you with it. You think it's a great story. You never even ask what the fucking road's about. The Scarecrow's really cool. You need heart, brains, and courage.
Oh, which one am I like? The Tin Man, the Scarecrow, the Lion?
Yeah, it's got to be all of them.
Super cool, Matthew. Amazing.
Yeah, man.
I love what you're up to.
You have an amazing energy, bro.
Thank you. You too, brother. Well, we both spent those 6 months on the beach. We both sat with people who have so little in comparison to the Western world and who are 10 times, 100 times more happy.
Yeah.
We both found what we care about. And yeah,
And you know what? There was no hope and there was no luck involved. Hope is the last dying wish of people that believe things can happen by accident. Fuck, get rid of hope because you're outsourcing your future. And luck, no. Did you win it on a scratch card, your beach journey? No, you made the hard decision to go there.
Yeah.
You have to get your nuts out and fucking live life. Just unzip, pull your nuts out and start walking. Put them on a cold, slabbed table. And I tell you what, there's not many men up there that are willing to go nuts out with this Japanese sword over them going, right, I'm standing, I'm ready. Let's go. It's a quiet table.
Totally had to do that. Not literally. Everyone else graduated high school, went to college. They went to the grad ceremony, all this stuff. I just bought a one-way ticket to Central America and packed my backpack and went to find myself. And the first 15 minutes was one of the most uncomfortable experiences of my life. Arriving there and going, what the fuck did I just do? Yeah. I stuck through it and it became the rest of my life.
I left at 33. I didn't understand the meaning of 33, and it was only when I got there I realized that, oh my God, I have to unlearn everything I thought I knew. And there is a higher power that is fucking real. And I've got to have faith. And my operating system is totally fucked up compared to this lot. So that took me a long time to reconfigure, get rid of the bugs.
Those things take time. Yeah.
They do. They take a long time.
Definitely.
And so have a plan and leave it there. Make a plan, go, yep, that's where I'm going. And that's the end of the conversation. Unless you think you're better than the big man again there. Best of luck on that one. Mm-hmm. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Pisses himself. Side split. Oh, look, there's another one I've been planning. Brilliant. Oh, it gets me every time.
So how does that add up then in terms of like make your plan and that's it?
Make your plan, turn up every day. Believe in it. Yeah. My Indonesian business partner said, Matt, I love the fact you've got these plans, but you spend a lot of time there. One day a wave can come. Yeah. So have a plan, but don't spend any time, because if the wave comes and you lose everyone, you'll regret all the time you spent there, because it never happened. Make it, send it, leave it. Speak it, write it, say it, believe it, feel it, send it. Don't think about it. It's done.
How can people find you? How can people connect with you?
Substack is best. Substack's best. Obviously, it's become nighttime since we started talking. You hardly see me. There we are.
There you are.
Yeah.
So Substack.
Substack's good. And yeah, Substack, I reckon, is best. I'm not really on socials too much, but Substack's where I'm. It's pure Substack. I like it.
And what's next for you?
What's next for me is sell, no, not sell, get the right people around me and begin my coconut project.
I'm going to reach out to you, see if there's any way I can contribute to that. I love the project. I always say, if you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? And every time for me, it's coconuts. So
Yeah,
it's the best.
It's the best. It's got everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You literally can live on it. Yeah. Probably anyone you can. You build a house out of it. You can live on it. You can have a fire. It does everything. It's a tree of life. Like no accident.
Well, it's a good sign. I got tears in my eyes wrapping up this interview. So that's a really
man.
I love this conversation, Matthew.
Yeah, me too.
Cool, brother.
Thanks for having me.
See you, man.
Take care. See you, buddy. Bye.
Huge thank you to Matthew Ross for taking the time and for the work that he's doing. I'm super moved by the conversation. I can't stop dreaming of flying to Indonesia and helping him on his farm. I hope you found it equally inspiring and that it inspires aligned action for you in your life. Subscribe and rate to keep the quest alive. Check show notes for the full transcript. And if you want to support the mission, please share this episode with your friends and your colleagues. I'm Brody Whitney, here to serve you on your path and your purpose. Thanks for joining. I'll see you on the next episode.